Los Angeles Mayor Eric Garcetti has repeatedly pointed to the nation's removal of redevelopment agencies 7 decades ago as one reason homelessness has surged across the city.
Redevelopment agencies were assumed to put aside at least 20% of their property tax revenues for affordable housing projects. In LA, that once yielded roughly $50 million annually, according to the Housing Division.
With the end of redevelopment, we lost almost 100% of our affordable housing funds from that source, the mayor told reporters in February. Although redevelopment agencies disappeared, the money has not. Some of the funds that used to go to agencies now flow to cities, counties, special districts and schools. Los Angeles has received more than $394 million in former redevelopment dollars, also known as boomerang funds, since redevelopment ended.
And while some jurisdictions decided to spend some of the boomerang funds each year on affordable housing, Los Angeles opted not to.
Instead, Garcetti and the city council put the new revenue into the day-to-day budget to help cover spending on police, firefighters and other city services, along with growing costs for retired employees.
Garcetti said the boomerang funds kept police officers on the street and firefighters in the firehouse in the years following the recession.
I would have done it in a split second again, the mayor said in a recent interview. It was the right thing to do to preserve critical city services.
Garcetti has helped secure new sources of funding to house the poor in the last year and a half. A bond for homeless housing is bringing in more than $75 million this budget year, according to city officials. A new linkage fee, which charges developers for new construction, could yield as much as $100 million annually for affordable housing after it goes into full effect next year.
How much has LA gotten in boomerang funds? Emily Alpert Reyes, Los Angeles Times source, City of Los Angeles as of January 2018. But as Los Angeles struggles with rising numbers of people bedding down on its streets, some argue that boomerang funds could have helped ease the housing crisis.
Housing advocates urged the city in 2014 to set aside some of the boomerang money for affordable housing, warning that federal funding for housing had been plunging and the city was becoming increasingly unaffordable for renters. A housing department report 4 years ago called it imperative that the city reserve some of the boomerang money to deal with the acute affordable housing need. Another report from its Economic Development Department released that year recommended that city leaders dedicate some of the funds to address the city's housing and jobs crisis.
O'Farrell now says the city missed a key window to take action as rising rents squeezed residents. "We lost ground," he said.
Redevelopment agencies were first authorized by the state in 1945 as a way to revitalize downtrodden neighborhoods. Under the program, cities declared a neighborhood blighted, allowing a portion of property taxes collected within that zone to subsidize development and affordable housing in that area. Cities, counties and other government entities would otherwise have received that money.
Garcetti questioned whether setting aside boomerang funds had made a difference in homelessness in other cities. He touted other steps he took to address the crisis, including pushing for the homeless housing bond and linkage fee, setting aside city properties for affordable housing development, and advocating for new state funding.